glad to see you on our very first day of winter workshop. And today we are making some adorable craft stick penguins. So there's supplies online that you can find out the list. There's also some instructions to print out. So I would love for you to play along with me right now. But if you don't have all of your supplies yet, you can go shopping, get them, and then you can come back and watch this video later. So welcome, please feel free to put any questions you have in the Q&A section, and Nicole and I will try and answer everything that we possibly can. So we are ready to go. So I'm going to switch over to another camera. And again, ask me questions if you want to in the Q&A, or if you want to tell me where you're at. I'm in Dallas, Texas, so it is not snowing today, that is for sure. I wonder if it's snowing where you're at, because I'm looking forward to a little bit of snow. Not a lot of snow, but maybe a little bit of snow. So today we're making the craft stick. And this sheet that I have right here is available on our website. So if you go to michaels.com/winter workshop, you can print this out later too if you like. But it tells you everything that you're going to need, and it tells you step by step what we're going to do in order to create this cute little penguin. Snowing in Ontario. Oh, jealous. Okay, so the things that we're going to need are, you're going to need a little bit of adhesive foam. So I have some orange and some black adhesive foam. And the adhesive part means that it's like a big giant sticker, and we can use that for our penguin arms and our penguin feet and our penguin beak. Looks like in the chat we have a bunch of people from British Columbia and from different parts of Canada, and it is snowing there. So they are more than ready for the craft stick penguins and all of Winter Workshop. New York, it looks like you're having a happy first day of December, so it's exciting. I love the winter. Ooh, Calgary, see, I'm telling you, everybody's getting snow up north, so maybe it's coming down to us later on. We'll check it out soon. But back to our crafts, we have this adhesive foam. You can get it in a big value pack, but you really only need orange and black. You're also going to need some craft sticks. So back in the day, I know that me and my brothers and sisters used to eat a lot of popsicles, and then we would make crafts with them. But now you don't even have to eat the popsicles. You can just go ahead and get the craft sticks. And then we also will need some acrylic paint. This is the kind that I'm going to use. It's these little jars. They're really nice, really easy, and pretty good to clean up as well. And then you're going to want my favorite, wiggle eyes. Lots of different ways that you can use these wiggle eyes on lots of different characters. So I'm excited about those. And then if you want anything else special, but you're probably going to want a paintbrush, maybe a little cup of water, a napkin, and a little bit of glue. I use the white kind of school glue, and it works really well for what we're doing today. So I'm seeing a lot of people from lots of different places. Go ahead and keep telling us where you're from. We're excited to see whether or not it's snowing where you are. But today we will all be keeping warm with these crafts, and we will be making this really adorable craft stick penguin. So the first thing that we need is craft sticks. So I would like you to count out 10 craft sticks. So go ahead and find 10. We have some people from Michigan, some people from, I saw another place, maybe New Jersey. Ooh, yeah. Kentucky, Ohio, Ontario, Virginia. We're all over the place. Missouri, no snow yet in Missouri. So I'm going to count out 10 popsicle sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you have your 10 different popsicle sticks, you're going to lay them and try and make them into a straight line. Here we go. So I'm using an extra popsicle stick. Do I have 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We only need 8 of them to make the body. And then we're going to use the other 2 popsicle sticks in order to keep this nice and tight. So we line up 8 of them and do the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And line up those 8. And then the way that we're going to attach them together is we're going to make like a little backwards letter Z. And that backwards letter Z is going to help keep all those sticks together so that they stick. So if you get lost, if you don't have your supplies, if you're not ready to craft with me right now, you can go to our website, michaels.com/winter workshop, and we will show you all the different supplies, all the instructions, and there are already videos there too that if you want to watch a video where you can actually stop and pause and get all the things and then come back, you can do that too. So that's available to you. But this is our live show, and we're happy to have all of you giving us some good energy. So in order to connect these together, I'm going to put some of my school glue, my white glue, onto a popsicle stick. And I'm going to go across and try and touch as many of them as I possibly can. So try and make it a diagonal so that you can try and get all of them. And that's going to help keep those together. And then there's going to be another tricky way to do the next part. And it's a little bit tricky, so be careful. I'm going to take one more popsicle stick and I'm going to bust it in half. So that might be a little bit too much for you. So if you have a friend or an adult nearby that can help you, that would be awesome. And because it's sharp and it's wood, so be careful. Don't want to get splinters. So now that we have these other 2 little pieces, we're going to make that letter Z or backwards letter Z, depending on how you're looking at it. And I'm going to attach this with a little bit more glue right here. Got to make sure that my last stick gets attached because it's kind of hanging out there. There we go. Good. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this part too. And I'm going to move this to try and grab as many of those sticks and hold them in place as I can also. So it looks like this one at the end is giving me a little bit of trouble. So I might even want to put a little bit of glue in between so that it sticks. Now, if you use a lot of glue, you need to be careful that you're not actually gluing it down to the paper. So be careful with that you're not gluing it to the table, that it's going to be able to move around a little bit. Then we can leave this for just a moment and let it dry. The next step we're going to do once it is a little bit dry is we're going to do a little bit of painting. So far, all we've done is we've counted out 10 popsicle sticks. We've put 8 of them in lines in order to make a nice surface. We used the 9th popsicle stick to make a diagonal. We busted another stick in half to make 2 more little pieces to help us keep all our popsicles together. We used glue to put that all together, and now my glue is a little bit wet, but it's a little bit dry. So I think we are ready to go, and carefully, it's very gentle, flip it over, and we have our penguin surface. So we are making this, and the next step of what we're going to do is a little bit of painting. Now, painting can be messy, so I highly recommend having some sort of piece of paper underneath everything. So make sure that you have paper covering up anything that you don't want to get messed up, because paint can get real messy real quick. And I am opening up my acrylic paint. And you only need 2 colors of paint for this project. I'm going to need some black paint, and I'm going to need some white paint. And I don't even need orange paint, even though there's a little bit of orange on my penguin, because these pieces are made out of foam instead of paint. So the only 2 colors you're going to need for painting are going to be black and white, these little acrylics. If you have a different kind of paint, or if you don't have any paint at all, you can try using markers, you can try using crayons, you can try using all different kinds of things, or even cut out a little piece of cardboard of the different colors, or a little piece of construction paper of the different. If you don't have foam or if you don't have paint, We can always make adjustments and we can figure it out. So if you're sharing with somebody, it's nice to have a little palette for your paint where you can put a little bit of each color into here, and then you don't have to all share into the same jar. But I'm kind of working by myself right now, and so I'm just going to dip straight into these jars. Now, what we want to do is we want to paint the white part first, the belly of the penguin, and then we want to paint the black part, because if we painted the black part and we messed up and then we painted the white part, it would be a little bit harder to cover it up, because white going on top of black is a little bit harder than if we wanted to cover up any white stuff we messed up with a little bit of black. So I'm going to start with the white. If this is the first time you've ever opened this paint, there's going to be a little bit a seal or a little protection cover over top of your paint. So you can take that off too. Make sure that it's nice and creamy. So if you need to stir it a little bit, you can stir it a little bit. I am going to have a water cup handy, and I'm also going to have a paper towel handy, or a napkin, or something, maybe even a scrap piece of paper. So I have my little bit of white, and I have some white paint on my paintbrush. And move my things over so you can still see my little penguin peeking over. There he is. And I'm going to paint on, starting on not the last stick, but the one next to it, and not the last stick over here, but the one next to it. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to make a little bit of a curve as best I can. So I'm going to go up a little bit, and then I'm going to start curving over. Whoop. Kind of like a rainbow. I'm going to curve this over. There we go. And then I'm just going to make some nice painting motions and get some white paint to make a nice penguin belly for myself. There we go. And what's pretty nice is that the glue and the paint both dry pretty fast. So while we're letting our paint dry, we're going to be cutting out our wings and cutting out our beak and the different parts of the penguin that are made out of the foam while we're letting this paint dry. So what I did with the white paint was I didn't paint on the first stick. I left that one blank. And then I went to the next stick and I left the stick on the other side blank and went to the stick next to it. I painted going up. I stopped about halfway, made a little bit of a curve to make the belly. And then I curved back down and painted all that stuff in the middle. And see how I got a little bit out of the lines? That's okay. That's just fine. So that's all I need for the white, and I'm ready to switch over to the black paint. So with all this paint still on my paintbrush, I'm going to dip it into my water. And when I dip it into my water, see how I'm kind of like painting the bottom of my water cup almost? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get rid of some of that extra paint, because I don't want the white paint to mix with the black paint, because do you know what color I'm going to get? I'm going to get gray instead of black. So I want to get all the white paint off. Now I also have a paper towel handy because I can paint on my paper towel, and it's harder to tell with white, but if I keep painting with my paper towel, eventually you're not going to be able to see any of that paint color anymore. So you'll know that your brush is ready to go for your next color. So now I'm going to go to my next color. I want to close up this jar because I do not want to spill paint on my desk. I do not want to do that. And then I'm going to open up the black paint. And if it's the first time you're opening it up, there might be a little seal on the top that you have to take off. And you might need to stir it a little bit to make sure that it's good to go. And then I'm going to dip into this black paint. And I'm going to paint the first stick completely. And it's okay if I go off my stick because I have this piece of paper. If you're not working on a piece of paper, you better be super careful so that you don't get paint on whatever it is that's underneath your popsicle sticks. So I painted the first stick. I'm going to come over and I'm going to paint the last stick. So if you're a little bit behind and you haven't glued your popsicle sticks together, you put them in a line, and then you're going to use one stick going on a diagonal and glue that down, and then break the sticks apart to do the other parts. And that's how you're going to get all of your popsicle sticks, your craft sticks, to stick together. And then once you have them all stuck together, you're doing the same steps that we're on, where you're going to go ahead and paint the belly. And now I'm painting the black. So I want to do that curve with my black too. There we go. And then I'm going to paint going up, up, and get all of this black paint to the top of my penguin, where my eyeballs are going to go and where my beak is going to go. And it doesn't take much to cover it up really nice and make a really nice color black and a really nice white belly. And we're ready to go with our penguin. So I am going to wash out my brush again, even though I don't have any more painting to do, just because it's a good idea. It's a good habit to get used to. So I'm going to dip it into my cup, and I'm kind of like moving the bristles of my brush around on my cup, and see how my water's changing color because I'm trying to get rid of some of that black. So I dip it in the water, and then I kind of paint my napkin or paint my paper towel until I stop seeing that color. And I know that my brush is going to be pretty clean. And then I can always wash it out one more time when I'm done. So this is looking pretty good. Looks like I got most of that black paint out of there. And I'm going to put my painting stuff. I'm going to go ahead and close up this jar of paint because I do not want to spill it. And that's all we need it with the paint. And I'm going to try and move my popsicle stick a little bit to the side, because while this is drying, I'm going to move on and I'm going to make little feet. I'm going to make a little beak, and I'm going to make some little penguin arms. So if you're just joining us, there's lots of supplies online for you to figure out what you need or what you might already have at your house in order to make these. We took 9 popsicle sticks. We took 8 popsicle sticks and put them together. The 9th one is a diagonal. The 10th popsicle stick got cut in half. We glued them all together. We flipped it over. We painted a white belly. We painted the black background, and now we're about to add some pieces of foam. So I have something called adhesive foam, which is like a big sticker. So I'm going to make 2 little half circles, and there's a couple different ways. You can just go ahead and cut it on the adhesive foam if you feel pretty good about it. But if I want to try, I like to flip it over to the sticker side, to where the white paper is. And you can go ahead and kind of draw a practice one with a pencil and see if you like it. So I'm going to cut out this half circle. I just saw someone in chat say that they had 8 inches of snow in Kansas. Whoa, that's a lot. So here's a little half circle that I just cut out of the foam. And you can see if you think that that's going to be a good foot for you, if you want to make it a little bit smaller. I think I'm going to make mine just a tiny bit smaller. So I'm going to cut that down just a little bit. There we go. And there I have it. Now, in order for both of my feet to look the same, I'm going to put this one that I just cut onto my foam, and I'm going to trace it so that I get exactly the same size foot. So I'm going to trace it, and then I'm going to cut this one out too, and I'm going to have 2 nice little penguin feet. And a funny thing about penguin feet is that they waddle, right? They just kind of boop, 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 back and forth. So I'm cutting this with my scissors. 2 half circles are all that we need of this orange foam in order to make little feet. And then the other thing we need with our orange foam is going to be this cute little penguin beak. So all that is the triangle. So again, you can draw the triangle if you want to, or you can just cut a triangle with 3 sides, kind of like the bottom ice cream cone. And you can see if you like that. Yep, I think that's going to be a nice one. So I have 2 half circles that make up my penguin feet, and I have a triangle that's going to make up my penguin beak. And then the only other thing I need are some little penguin arms. So penguins are birds, but do you know that penguins don't actually fly? But what's crazy is that they like basically fly underwater with their wings. So their wings they use to help them glide through the water instead of gliding through the air like all the other birds. So I am going to go ahead and cut out a little penguin arm. So a penguin arm is kind of like, what do you call this shape? Like an eyeball, like a cat eye. I don't know what you call that, like a leaf. It's not quite an oval. It's not quite round. I'm not sure what shape I would call that, but it's kind of like an eye where it's got these 2 little points. So it goes to a point and then it curves out. It goes to a point and then it curves out. And I'm going to see if I like this one. Someone asked in the chat if they could tape their popsicle sticks together. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to tape instead of glue, that is absolutely okay. So I'm going to cut this out and I'm going to see if I like this wing. So I made this little shape and you know what? I think I like it. So all of our wings do not have to be the same. We can all have different looking wings. If you want to make yours just a rectangle, or if you want to make yours a half circle or a little bit longer than a half circle, you can do that. We don't have to have the same arms. That's okay. But once you find a shape that you do like, then you can go ahead and trace it again so that you cut out another one of the same kind that you can put onto the other side of your penguin. So we're cutting out 2 penguin wings in black. And here I go with this next one. And I'm cutting them on something called adhesive foam, which foam obviously because of how it feels, and then adhesive because they're giant stickers. Ooh, I have to share this. Someone just put a cool fact in the question and answer. And if you have any more facts, by the way, you are welcome to add them. But the fun fact in the chat says that a group of penguins in water is called a raft. And when you have a group of penguins on land hanging out together, they're called a waddle. So if they're swimming together, they're called a raft, which is funny because if you think of a bunch of penguins swimming together, forming a little raft, or if they're all standing together, what are they doing? They're waddling. So that's pretty cool. So a group of penguins on land is called a waddle. So here are my little penguin wings. Here are my feet, and here is my beak. And we're close, but I can still see a little bit of wetness in my paint. So I'm going to wait just a little bit more before I glue it down. So while we're waiting, if anybody's just starting, you put 8 popsicle sticks down, you put the 9th one diagonal, you break it in half, and that's going to secure all your popsicle sticks together when you glue it. Then does anybody remember what we did next? We flipped it over. We painted a white belly. We painted the black background. And then we went ahead. We cut out half circles for feet. We cut out a triangle for a beak. And we cut out wings for our penguin. So I feel pretty good about this. Seems like mine is dry enough for me to start putting on the adhesive foam. So I'm ready. This is a big sticker, so I just need to peel it off and stick it on. Peel it off. There we go. And stick on my little feet. Boop. Waddle, waddle. I'm going to peel off the next one and I'm going to stick it on. Boop. So I like my feet to go on the white spot, but if your feet need to go off into the black spot, that's fine too. Don't worry. Next, I'm going to add my penguin arms. So I'm going to put one over here. Give a big penguin a hug. There we go. And then I'm going to put another penguin arm over here. Aww. And before I add my penguin beak, we need to add my favorite part, which are wiggle eyes. So you need to pick out 2 wiggle eyes. I have this big old box, so I have lots of fun choices. I can use these really weird egg-shaped ones, which I think are kind of fun. I could turn them this way, or I could turn them up and down. I even have some ones that are really wacky with like eyelashes. So you can pick out whatever kind of eyes you want. And some of the eyes have stickers on the back and some of the eyes don't. So if they have stickers on the back, you can peel off the sticker just like we did with the foam, and you can attach on your eyeballs. But if you don't have a sticky back, then you can go ahead and use glue. So don't worry about that. And then we're going to figure out where we want to put our eyes and where we want to put our beak. And we're almost done with this really, really cute penguin. So I'm going to go ahead and peel off the sticker for my beak. There we go. And then I don't think that mine have stickers on the back, so I'm going to need my glue again. Another fun fact in the chat says that there are 18 species of penguins. Very interesting. Oh, I gave my penguin some eyebrows. I like it. And then I'm going to put another little bit of glue. And I'm going to put another eye. And don't worry, my eyebrow is going to dry, so it won't really show up like that. But I think I might already be done. So the last part we did was we painted the white belly. We painted the black part around it. We cut out 2 half circles to make the feet. We cut out a triangle for the beak. We made 2 little arms, and the arms that we cut out were kind of like eyeball shapes. And then we took all the stickers and stuck them down, and we have our wiggle eyes, and we're done. We have an adorable penguin, and mine's name is Penny the penguin. I don't know what yours is, but thank you so much for joining me today. Before you leave, if you like this class, I'm teaching another class on Thursday, making some Christmas holiday bracelets. So if you're really into bracelet making like I am right now, you can make some more bracelets. We also have a class coming up tomorrow where you can use some clay and make a peppermint photo holder. We have a watercolor snowflake coming up on Sunday. So we have crafts every single day for the next 12 days. So Winter Workshop is just begun today. And we have lots of crafts for you to play with us every single day for the next 12 days at the same time. Come on back and let's keep playing and keep making cool things. So feel free if you know someone or you have an adult who wants to share the pictures on hashtag Learn with Michaels or hashtag Michaels Kids Club. I'd love to see what you made. Sounds like somebody made a blue penguin and somebody made a penguin holding a present, which sounds really cute too. So if you want to, you can always put a little bit of string on this and make it into a cool Christmas ornament and hang it on a Christmas tree. Or you can put some magnets on the back and you can hang it on your refrigerator. And everybody's going to be really jealous that you have a waddle of penguins hanging out at your house. So this has been really fun. My name's Megan. Thank you for coming to Winter Workshop. Please come again. And I can't wait to see you all and see what you made. Have a good day. Bye.